Hello and welcome to the February 2023 real estate market report for Area 106, that is New Glasgow and Stellarton. My name is Andrew Keddy. I'll be your presenter, and you might be wondering, why should I listen to this guy? Well, just a few quick details about myself. I actually received the National Top 5% Award from Royal LePage this past year after receiving the Director's Platinum Award for 2022. It was actually my second year receiving this award. And I tell you that not to brag, but just to really reinforce the fact that I have a pretty good handle of the local real estate market. And I also just want to mention, when people think Royal LePage True Real Estate, I think sometimes they think Truro, but we actually service central and northern Nova Scotia. So we are covering Pictou County, we're covering a good chunk of Cumberland County, down towards Halifax. We are centrally located, and it puts us in a very interesting position where we can service many areas exceptionally well. Now you might be wondering, Area 106, what exactly is that? Well, that's New Glasgow and Stellarton, specifically those two communities. And this is as designated by the Nova Scotia Association of Realtors, NSAR, and they put these two communities together when releasing data. So, January, where were we at? Well, average time on market, and I should mention in this presentation, we're going to do two key things: time on market and average sale price, because whether you're buying or selling, those two things tell us a lot. Time on market gives us an indication of how long things are taking to sell, how much breathing room buyers have. Average sale price gives us a good indication of what sellers are getting for their property. So both numbers are exceptionally important. However, there are a number of other ones in here that I might reference as we go. So days on market until sale. It was actually 95 days on market on average in 2022, down to only 25 days on average for January of 2023. Now, two things I'd like to point out about this. First off is look at the numbers. We're talking a fairly low number of new listings, pending sales, closed sales. There's actually only 2 closed sales in January for New Glasgow and Stellarton. So with a small number, though, depending on those two properties, that can really skew the data. So we do have to be careful when the numbers of properties transacting are low, not to put too much stock that, all properties that hit the market are going to follow that trend. Second thing I'd like to point out is that early 2022 was when the market was really ramping up across a lot of parts of the province. And as a result, we were seeing things selling that maybe had been sitting on the market for a little while before that. And as a result, that can actually skew the data the other way, where it can look like the average days on market until sale is actually much higher because things that have been on the market not selling sold in the heated market. So what does that tell us? Well, if we look down at the very bottom, month supply of inventory, that's a really good metric to compare this against. And you can see we went from 0.8 months of inventory, which tells us that based on demand, it would take about a month, a little under a month for everything to sell in early January of 2022. And it essentially doubled, a little over doubled for January 2023. So that means there was a lot more inventory than there was demand. And overall, that puts us somewhere around here when we look at the historical average. So time on market is still much lower than it has been historically, but it is higher than it had been over a number of months over the past 2 years. But again, with a low number of transactions, we do have to be careful about overinterpreting this data for any one month. We more so have to look at the overall trend, and the trend does appear to be holding somewhat steady, kind of fluctuating between right around the same level. So we'll see how this goes in the coming months to get a better indication of exactly where the market is. But as of right now, it does, based on this chart, look somewhat flat. Next key one is average sales price. So $208,500 in January 2023. That was down 7.7% over the same month in 2022. So It is, it is coming down a little bit. If you're a seller, you might be wondering, well, should I hold off selling? I mean, it's still a great time to sell. If you're buying, it is kind of nice that prices are beginning to soften just a little bit. But you can see right here, when you look at the chart, when you take the overall trend, it does look like it's trending down just a little bit on average, but still we're well above the historical average. And so if you're thinking about selling, it's still a fantastic time to sell. You do not miss the market by any means of the imagination. So if you're thinking about selling, you can reach out to us. We can do an assessment on your property and get your property listed and take advantage of this still very strong seller's market. And in the coming months, we'll see how this, whether or not this trend continues. But as of right now, it's still a great time to sell. And if you're buying, good news, prices have come down a little bit over where they were. Now, this presentation is not meant to be a complete, comprehensive A to Z overview of the market. It's meant to be a quick snapshot to give you a sense of where things are at with a few key metrics, and hopefully I didn't put you to sleep with some of those numbers. Now, if you still have questions, reach out to our team. We have a fantastic team over here at Royal LePage Truro. And so whether you give us a call and you connect yourself, whether we connect you with me or someone else on our team, we would be happy to help you out and help you reach your real estate goals. So you can give us a call at 902-895-6361, or you can call or go on to turohomes.ca and check out more information about our amazing team. So once again, my name is Andrew Keddy. If you want to check me out on the web, andrewkeddy.com, and you can book a free real estate review with me where we can talk about your real estate goals. It's been a pleasure speaking with you in this presentation, and I wish you much success in real estate.